Well, I got to be honest. I thought the Sydney Sweeney thing would die down by now, but you know how liberals are. They can't let anything go, and they just keep going and keep going and keep going. And the amazing thing is everything they've complained about and whined and cried about has completely backfired on them, and now they look like a bunch of just whiny little babies. That's all they are, is a bunch of whiny babies. Because as everybody knows, that Sydney Sweeney did the American Eagle commercial, which I thought was a brilliant play on words. And I don't think they could have picked anybody better to do it than Sydney Sweeney. Let's be honest. Nature was very kind to Sydney Sweeney. Very kind. And if you've never seen the Andy Griffith episode where they have the girl that played I Dream of Jeannie on it, and she comes into the town, she's working at the nail salon, and everybody's freaking out about it because Barbara Eden, was an absolute bombshell. And, when it comes time, for Andy Griffith to tell her, that it's, it's hard for you being here because a lot of men's wives are getting upset. And he said, you know what? He said, nature's been very good to you. I cannot remember a time when nature has ever spent this much time on any one person. Well, that's Sydney Sweeney in today's world. That's Sydney Sweeney. So American Eagle, which I got to be honest, I've never shopped at, picked her up to do this really great ad campaign, which was fantastic. And the play on the word jeans. Sydney Sweeney has great jeans, J-E, A-N-S, jeans. And the play, G-E-N-E-S, jeans. And what she does, she has great jeans, and she has great jeans from American Eagle, I guess. Got to be honest, I've never owned a pair. I will now, because I will start shopping there now, simply because American Eagle did not fold. They stood their ground against the woke cancel culture mob, which is absolutely fantastic. And they put out a statement. They responded back. They put out an official statement on Instagram that said, Sydney Sweeney has great jeans and always was about the jeans, her story. We'll continue to celebrate how everyone wears their AE jeans with confidence their way. Great jeans look good on everyone. Then the statement concluded. So I'm very proud that an American company has come up and done this. They didn't back down, and good for them, because of all the whining and the crying and the TikTok nut job liberals and all their complaining. And I got to be honest, and I'm going to say this, love it, hate it, I don't care. 99% of the girls that were whining and crying about Sydney Sweeney on their videos, let's be honest, it was straight up jealousy. Because I'm going to tell you, if you're a liberal woman and you're 50, 60, 70, 500 pounds overweight and you have blue hair and a nose ring, generally men don't find that attractive. I'm just going to tell you that now. They don't find that attractive. You look like you don't bathe. You just put on whatever clothes you slept in last night and you go outside. Chances are you're not going to find a mate that way. So those are the ones that were doing most of the complaining. And then they had the audacity to call her a Nazi. This is absolutely amazing to me. But that's what liberals do. Liberals have two things they fall back on. Either you're racist or you're a Nazi. Oh, I'm sorry, three things. Or you're a puppet of Putin. They love using that one. Anything they don't agree with, you fall into one of those three categories if you're a Republican. Every time. It doesn't matter what it is. You fall into one of those three categories. Racist, Nazi, communist. All the things the liberals do, racism, Nazism, communism, they love to blame on the Republicans. And before you go off the deep end, we don't do that. Well, you're getting ready to put a communist into the mayor of New York City. Yeah, he's a straight up communist. Say what you want. He's a straight up communist. You like to call us Nazis, even though it was your party that tried to persecute a presidential candidate, which is pretty much what Nazis do. And like I said in the last video, in the Democrat world, it's party, then country, which is kind of Naziist, wouldn't you say? Because the Nazis were party, then country. Then, of course, racist. We all know. The Democrats are the party of KKK. You're the party of slavery. And it took a Republican white man to free the blacks. Except we're the racist. It's just amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. So moving on from that, Sydney Sweeney does the American Eagles commercial. The liberals lose their collective minds instantly, have an absolute meltdown. And I'm not going to sit here and play the videos of the meltdown because there's hundreds of them melting down over this. And then especially the one where it shows the black girl. She's walking in front of the American Eagle store. And she's like, oh, I can't go in. I'm not white. Okay. Well, you're an idiot. I'm just going to say that now. You're a moron. Because nothing was about this being white. This was simply a playing on words. And what I thought was a brilliant strategy, where Sydney Sweeney says, my eyes are blue, blah, blah, blah. And I have great genes, basically. Well, she does have great genes, Jeans and Genes. She's got great genes on both. And yet somehow that pisses people off. I mean, did you liberals get mad because you don't look like her? Because that's all I can think of. Because when I saw this, and I showed this to my beautiful wife, and when she saw it, I said, now what do you think about? She goes, well, I think about genes, Jeans. Because my wife is a typical Republican American woman. And that's what we think about. Jeans, genes, the genes you put on your body. Not the Democrats, not at all. Well, she said she's got blue eyes and she's blonde hair, so she must be a Nazi. That's instantly where they went to. Instantly. Because that is liberal mind think. All right? Everything to them is in a negative world, especially liberal women. Over the last 5 years, there's been 2 polls released of the most miserable group of people in America. And guess who got it both times? White liberal women. Both times, they won their poll of being the most miserable group of people in America. And you wonder why. You wonder why. Why can't you just look at the ad and say, hey, it's an ad. It's a play on words. She's a beautiful girl. She looks great in jeans. Done. Finished. But not the liberals. They did what they do best. They took to TikTok, which is the liberal haven. The liberal haven is TikTok. They took to TikTok and just absolutely went crazy. Went crazy. And I don't know if they're mad because she's beautiful or because she's got a better body than them. Because how they draw a conclusion from this gorgeous American, blue-eyed, blonde-haired white girl straight to Nazism, I simply can't draw that line. I simply cannot draw that line, but the Democrats can. They can draw that line because that's how they think. Everything in their world is that way. And you fall into one of 3 categories. Now, not them. They fall into the categories of true Americans, if you ask them, even though they do nothing good for America. But everybody on the right falls either into being a Nazi, being a communist, or being a racist. And that's how they look at everything. That's not like them. You just can't be. You just can't be a human being to them. You either have to be a Nazi, racist, or communist. You just cannot be an American. You just can't be here and live. You have to be a Nazi, a communist, or a racist to a liberal. And they wonder why they're polling at such low numbers. Amazing. More on that in a second. But, so what happens is Sydney Sweeney does the commercial. The liberals lose their mind. American Eagle thanks you because their stock is up 20%. Their jean sales are up 15%. The last weekend, the American Eagle store was packed with people buying jeans because of you all. So American Eagle thanks you. We appreciate you all losing your collective minds and acting like idiots. Because in this world, there's no such thing as bad publicity, only publicity. And when you all stir the controversy, it makes more people look. And this is how stupid Democrats are. And I say this in every video, how stupid Democrats are. And this is how stupid they are. They think because of their saying, well, she's a Nazi, euthanasia, no black people allowed, it's only about white people, that's going to turn people off. But what it does is it makes people watch. Then when normal people look at it, they're like, I don't get it. I don't see the problem. But damn, she looks good in those jeans. I'm going to go buy some. That's what normal people do. So American Eagle is laughing all the way to the bank because of you liberals. So you all did a great job on this because what you thought you were going to cancel American Eagle and you're going to cancel Sydney Sweeney. There's a lot of people who've never even heard of her until you all lost your minds. right now, the most talked about person in America is Sydney Sweeney because of Democrats. Right now, her stock is at the highest it's ever been. And if I was at any other big business out there, I would instantly be trying to sign Sydney Sweeney to a commercial deal right now. Bud Light, man, you want to erase that Dylan Mulvaney disaster? Pick up Sydney Sweeney right now. Put her in a pair of American Eagle jeans and have her talk about your beer and watch your stock shoot through the roof right now. But you won't because you're ignorant. You're just going to sit here and flail along, still suffering the losses from Dylan Mulvaney. Still to this day, you're still suffering the losses from that mistake that you all made. But, like I said, right now, Sydney Sweeney is gold. So then it gets better. The Democrats can't let that go. So then they start digging into her past. Then we find out she's a Republican. Her stock just went up even higher. These people are so ignorant, it's not even funny. They're so ignorant, it's not funny. So now her stock's up even higher because not only is she gorgeous, not only does she make a great commercial, now she's bucking the Hollywood system, which we love, especially people like me. I love that. I love that because I think everybody in Hollywood are liberal nut job wackos, every one of them. And they're so hypocritical, it's not funny. So now we find out she's a registered Republican. So her stock just went even higher. And then to beat it all, this just came out.
That was the one. That was it.
I did not expect this for your first day.
Hey, eyes up here.
The chick is a shooter to beat it all. Oh my God. That's her at Terran Tactical. I'm going to tell you right now, the hottest item on the planet right now is Sydney Sweeney. By far, she's the hottest name on the planet. And if you idiots over in Hollywood are making movies, you better start signing her right now. Because I'm going to tell you, her stock just went up tremendously. And her value is going to go up tremendously. She has quickly become America's sweetheart. And this is going to do nothing but benefit her in every way possible. And as you know, and I'm assuming she had a great life. I don't know. I got to be honest. Never dug into her past. I don't care. It's her life. Live it how you want. But then all of a sudden, the Democrats bring all this to the forefront. So now we have no choice but to look into it. We have no choice. And everything coming out about her, red-blooded, beautiful American girl. She shoots guns. She's a Republican. She's a pretty good actress. I've seen several of her movies. She's gorgeous. She makes great commercials. Thanks, Democrats. You all did a great job of actually trying to cancel her and making her more valuable. And there again, it just kind of shows you how stupid Democrats are. Because only a Democrat can watch a jeans commercial and tie her to being a Nazi. Only a Democrat can do that. And now that this is out, and I'm sure they're still on TikTok. I haven't looked. I'm sure they're still on TikTok losing their minds because she shoots guns. I'm sure they're probably saying, who knows what they're saying about her. They're Democrats. But all I can say is Sydney Sweeney right now is the hottest ticket in America right now. And had the Democrats been normal, which they can't, and left it alone, the world would have just been another day. But instead, they made Sydney Sweeney the hottest commodity on the planet. And you know what? She kind of deserves it.